you facing a new chapter in your life and exploring living with family? Whether it's moving in with your adult children or having your parents move in with you or even sharing your home with an adult grandchild. Well, you're not alone. Did you know that there's a term for that living arrangement? And it's called multi-generational households, and it's the world we're diving into today. We'll explore the benefits of multi-generational living, why it's an arrangement that's gaining popularity now, and it can also have its drawbacks. Join me today as we explore what this means, how it differs from other living setups, and the benefits and challenges it can bring you. First things first, what do we mean by multi-generational living? Well, this is when more than two generations live together under one roof. That could be you moving your parents to come live with you, family members living together, cousins, siblings, aunts, uncles, grandparents joining the family household, or even like one of my clients recently had an adult grandchild join her in her new home. Now, this used to be considered an option of last resort for a lot of people. It was something you did when you had to weather a financial storm or you had to care for aging family members. But that's not always the case, and it's been around for quite a while. Even in my family, when my grandmother moved in with my aunt, so not only could they spend more time together, but also she would be there to give assistance to an aging parent. I've also seen this solution with several of my clients over the last few years. Recently, one of my elderly neighbors, who along with her husband sold her home, they got together with their daughter and the daughter's family and sold their home, and then all of them together went and bought a brand new home designed specifically for multi-generational living. My elderly neighbor and her husband were independent, but they wanted family closer just in case something happened. So that style of home has worked very well for them because they have their privacy, they have their independence, and they still have the family literally right next door with only a door separating them. Then a few years ago, I put one of my clients, a widow, into a home built in that post-World War II era where they had built the homes in such a way that the basement was actually a mother-in-law suite with a separate entrance. And she moved her uncle into that mother-in-law suite, and the two of them lived together there for, several years until the uncle's sudden passing. And then recently we ended up moving a client into her new townhome where she has now invited an adult grandchild to come live with her. A growing number of families now say that they are embracing this multi-generational living and moving in together. In fact, research by the National Association of Realtors, or NAR, found that multi-generational home buying was up 14% in 2023, close to an all-time high. Now, it's important not to confuse multi-generational with multifamily living. Multifamily properties like duplexes, triplexes, apartment buildings are designed for separate families living independently in different units. Multi-generational homes, on the other hand, are typically single-family homes adapted to the needs of multiple generations sharing the same living spaces. Each house setup can offer unique designs depending upon your needs and your lifestyle. Some of you might think this sounds wonderful, and to others, you're going to go, have to live with family? Let's discuss some of the pros and cons of this type of living, because I'm seeing builders not only here in the Denver metro area, but across the country building homes with this particular lifestyle in mind. As you age, it might be a wonderful way to combat the rise of assisted living costs. Now, the first pro would be in dealing with affordability. According to NAR's 2023 profile of home buyers and sellers, when looking at the reasons to buy a multi-generational home, 28% of first-time home buyers and 18% of repeat buyers wanted a larger home that multiple incomes could afford together. Along with that, 18% of first-time home buyers and 11% of repeat home buyers mentioned cost savings. These results really speak to the higher cost of living that all of us are facing these days. Plus, with this arrangement, you have built-in savings since everyone will contribute to the living expenses by pooling resources to pay for utilities, mortgage, even food costs. What was interesting about the NAR study was when they looked at the different generations, they found that it was most common for Generation Xers, it's those people born between 1965 and 1979, purchase a multi-generational home. And they thought that that was because this group might be caring for both aging parents and possibly experiencing young adults boomeranging back at the same time, or young adults who never left the home. Therefore, they would need a larger home for all of the family members. What do you think? Is that what you're seeing or experiencing in your own family? I see some of this, some of my single women clients who go live with a family member who needs their help, say an aging parent or relative. Or like I mentioned, inviting a younger adult family member to come live with them. Then that brings us to pro number 2, which is the benefit of caring for an aging parent or relative. According to the NAR study, 23% of repeat buyers and 15% of first-time homebuyers cited that caring for an aging parent or relative was a great reason to buy a multi-generational home. And these days, with the rising cost of assisted living, this might be a great option for a lot of people. And this was the reason my neighbors made the move they did with their adult daughter and her family, because they were having some difficulties aging in their own place, and they wanted the assurance of having family nearby just in case something happened. And beyond caring for an elderly parent or relative, I can see where this might benefit a couple who have younger children still at home, where they now have an adult at home when those children return from school and the parents are still at work. But can you guess the reason most cited by those polled, no matter what age group, for buying a multi-generational home was? The most common reason for all buyers was for caretaking, and more importantly, for spending more time with aging relatives. Imagine having all your loved ones around, right there with you. After going through big life changes, that sense of family support can feel incredibly comforting. And for older single home buyers, let's not forget the everyday companionship, which can be particularly meaningful when you're getting used to a new living arrangement after a partner's passing or a divorce. So that's some of the pros. But you might have some that I haven't even mentioned. I'd love to hear about your experience with multi-generational living. Go ahead and put your comment down below. For all the good things that come from being surrounded by family, from being felt supported, and from sharing the financial burden, there can also be some cons of living with family. So let's discuss those next. The first con to consider might be emotional stress due to a lack of privacy. I mean, let's get real. Multi-generational living isn't for everyone, and living with family can sometimes blur the boundaries, so privacy becomes one of the main challenges people face, which can lead to emotional stress. As we all know, family can sometimes get on each other's nerves. Maybe not your family, but mine? Think about it. Different generations have different habits, expectations, and routines, which can lead to stress. Plus, if everyone has been used to living the typical lifestyle of having your own home or condo or townhome, and now suddenly you have to share a home with everybody, that takes a bit of an adjustment. A way to combat that would be for everyone to respect each other's space, and that will mean considering the layout of the home so you can make this work. Homes are already built or remodeled with multi-generational needs in mind, but you could also take a regular single-family home, such as a ranch with a full walkout basement, and create separate living spaces, or a home where the bedrooms have their own ensuite bathrooms, or homes with double primary bedroom bathrooms. This way everyone can enjoy some privacy. Having an expectation of how you want this to work will help you when you pick out a home that can accommodate young and old members without sacrificing comfort and privacy. At work, everyone's going to need to respect each other's space, and then setting some ground rules up front, especially around shared spaces, is going to be key. Now that brings me to the third con or pro, however you want to look at it, and that's communication and boundaries. Communication has to be a priority in this kind of living situation because we all know bad communication or a lack of communication can really ruin a home life. Before making this decision, it's critical to talk openly with your family members about your expectations, your finances, shared chores, and daily routines. Being on the same page from the start can make a world of difference, creating a wonderful living opportunity for all generations under the same roof. Ultimately, multi-generational living can be a beautiful supportive solution if it aligns with your lifestyle and needs. Think about your priorities. If you crave independence, maybe look for a home with a separate guest suite or lower level apartment where you can have your space and your privacy while still connecting on your own terms. And remember, this setup doesn't have to be permanent. Some people choose multi-generational living as a transitional phase, a way to feel close to family and have support before deciding on their next step. Like in my case with my grandmother. At the end of her life, we had to get her more nursing care than we could give her on our own. So if you're considering making a move or just have questions about different living options, feel free to reach out. I'm here to help, and I know it can be a big decision, especially if you're navigating it alone. Hi, my name is Peggy Durstoff, realtor at Live Denver Suburbs, powered by HomeSmart. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more videos designed to help you navigate these exciting and sometimes challenging transitions. For more information on living with family, go ahead and check out this month's blog on multi-generational home buying, how to find a home that fits your whole family. I put the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.